Right now on Hoosier News Source, we'll tell you who won the IU student government election and more on how IU hosted a gender marker and name change fair for the LGBTQ community.
And I have warmer temperatures as well as this week's IU baseball forecast. Hoosier News Source starts now.
Hello and welcome to Hoosier News Source. I'm Lexi Vanetti. To start this week's show, our Caroline Clare joins us in studio with a look at weather. Caroline?
Thanks, Lexi. A low pressure system to the southwest will be coming through our area this Thursday. As you can see, we are just north of the system and bringing with it rain as it moves east. With this stationary front, we'll be keeping the majority of the rain to the south, but some of the rain will grace us, so you can expect rain all day on Thursday. Some of this rain may stick around for Friday's IU baseball game, the first of 3 against Penn State this weekend. On Friday, a 30% chance of rain and a high of 65. Saturday is going to be gorgeous out with a high of 68, a low of 56, and just a 10% chance of precipitation. And then Sunday, we do have a chance of storms, 50%, and then a high of 71 and a low of 60. Now, let's take a look at the rest of the week. On Wednesday, we have partly cloudy and a high of 66. Thursday and Friday, those shower chances, and then Saturday, that beautiful day, we have a high of 68, just a 10% chance of rain. And through the rest of the weekend, we have Sunday, that storm chance, and a high of 71. And then going into early next week, we have a high of 67 on Monday and a high of 64 on Tuesday. A beautiful beginning to the last month of school here in Bloomington. Lexi, back to you.
We start off the show with updates from the news that Bloomington County Commissioner and former mayoral candidate Amanda Barge was accused of sexual harassment and workplace retaliation by county contractor Brandon Drake after he rejected her advances. In a statement posted on her campaign's Facebook page, the Democratic County Commissioner denied the allegations made by Drake. The page has since been deleted. "We are all fragile and flawed human beings," the statement read, Although I vehemently deny engaging in sexual harassment, I recognize that my actions have caused pain to my family and others. There is no word yet if Drake will be pressing charges against Barge, but Barge said she will not be resigning from her county commissioner seat. Hoosier News Source reached out to both Drake and Barge for comments, but have not heard back from either parties. Indiana University's LGBTQ community hosted a gender marker and name change fair on Saturday. The fair took place in the Maurer School of Law from 3 to 6 p.m. and was open to everyone. Members of the organization provided free assistance for anyone looking to change their gender marker or name on official documents. Trans people were able to talk about the issues such as the gender they identify with, who they identify with, and the name they want to go by.
The level of acceptance and love and just positivity within there was really nice, because I feel like I as a bisexual person, I feel like I received that. I don't receive it that much, but I still receive it a lot more than the trans community gets to receive it.
To find out more information about the LGBTQ community and their upcoming events, you can visit their website at lgbtq@indiana.edu or scroll through their Facebook page. Voting for IUSG's executive positions has ended and a winner has been declared. IUSG's election commission released a statement on Thursday night announcing Vision as the winning campaign. Next year's student body president and vice president will be juniors Isabel Mishkin and Matt Stein. The official results are set to be certified later this week. Hoosier News Source will bring you more on those results, along with the chance to hear from the winning campaign next week. Coming up, our global report with updates from around the world and how the Hoosiers did in sports this week. Stay with us. Welcome back to Hoosier News Source. Now let's take a look at stories people are talking about around the globe with this week's edition of The Global Report. Larmy?
Thanks, Lexi. According to U.S. Border Control, hundreds of migrants are being released into Texas towns every day. This comes as Customs and Border Protection says there is no room to hold them. One CBP facility is more than 350% over capacity. Over 2,000 migrants have already been dropped off into 3 Texas towns, and one CBP drops migrants off at Catholic Charities. If their U.S. relatives can buy them a bus ticket, they are then taken to a central bus station with the promise to appear in court at a later date. Pope Francis is reiterating his calls for compassion when it comes to migration. He made the remarks on Sunday when asked about the efforts of several nations, including the United States, to build wall and fences to keep migrants out. This isn't the first time he has criticized immigration policies and border walls. In Panama earlier this year, Francis said, quote, "builders of walls sow fear," end quote.
We feel pain when we see people who prefer to build walls. Why do we feel this pain? Those who build walls will end up becoming prisoners of the walls they build.
The Pope's comments come while President Trump has threatened to close the border this week to stop the influx of American or Latin American migrants. In Venezuela, President Nicolas Maduro has announced a 30-day plan to ration electricity. This power outage, the two before, and water shortages have crippled the country. The shortages also overshadowed another round of dueling protests. This is self-declared President Juan Guaido and embattled President Nicolas Maduro vie for support across the country. But while the blame game over the blackout continues, the people struggle just to find water.
Us Venezuelans, we're very upset. Listen, brother, we don't have power, we don't have water, services work badly. I don't even know how to explain. If it was for me, we would have forced this government out. 5 people come forward, they get killed, and nothing is achieved.
Turkey, China, and Russia have all recently sent aid to Venezuela. The 3 are among a handful of countries that back the Maduro regime, while the U.S., EU, and much of the world seem as an illegitimate leader and back Guaido. One of the Vietnamese women accused of murdering Kim Jong-un's half-brother has escaped the death penalty, but not jail time. Duan Thi Huang was accused of murdering the North Korean leader's brother in 2017 by smearing poison on his face. The 2 women have always maintained that they're innocent and that they merely thought they were taking part in a practical joke show. Huang now has accepted a plea deal and will be released from prison May 5th. Her alleged accomplice was released in early March after all her charges were dropped. A comedian who plays president on TV would well become Ukraine's next president in reality. 41-year-old Vladimir Zelensky won the most votes in the first round of the country's presidential election Sunday. That's according to exit polls. The incumbent president, Petro Poroshenko, came in second. However, there was no majority winner among the candidates, so a runoff is expected between Zelensky and Poroshenko for later this month. Meanwhile, another presidential candidate and former prime minister is disputing the results. She says, according to her party's own exit polls, she's in second and therefore qualifies for the runoff. That's all for the Global Report. Thank you so much for watching. Now back to you, Lexi.
Thank you, Larmy. It was a busy weekend for sports teams as some of them wrapped up their seasons. Our sports reporter Joe Canter joins us live in the studio to give us the recap. Joe?
Thanks, Lexi. Even though it's April, we head straight to the hardwood for some March Madness. Might not be the NCAA tournament, but the Hoosiers drummed up quite a bit of excitement around their recent NIT run. Quarterfinal matchup for IU, Romeo Langford out, Juwan Morgan in. Might be his last game in an IU uniform. Taking on Wichita State, and Marcus McDuffie hits the 3. He'd finish with 21. Morgan, though, doesn't want his career to go out on a sour note, putting on some nice post moves, trying to propel his team to MSG. McDuffie, though, lethal from long range. Those Shockers answered every single Hoosier run. IU, not going away, though. Al Durham playing free safety, coast to coast. What a finish for Al Durham. That'll get the crowd back into the game. Then Devontae Green pulling up from way downtown. Thank you very much. But in the end, just too much Wichita State. The Shockers win it, 73-63. The Hoosier women's basketball team did make the NCAA tournament, their 6th NCAA tournament in program history. A late Jalen Penn 3 led them to an upset of the 7th seed Texas in the first round, just the program's 3rd NCAA tournament win and their 2nd under head coach Terry Morin. That led them to this matchup against the number 2 seed Oregon Ducks. Allie Patberg driving, runner, gets the friendly roll. Oregon, though, had their quack attack humming along, outside and inside. They were all over the court, too much for the Hoosiers early. Then, Jalen Penn, a little up and down, finds Kim Royster on the high-low, a little bump and a little bucket. IU played well, some sharp shooting from Allie Patberg. Then, Patberg on the distributing end this time, finds Gracie Baker, runs up and drills it. Hoosiers, though, not enough. Their season comes to an end as they fall in the second round to Oregon, 91-68. Let's check in on the NCAA tournament. Rip your bracket up. Apologize if you had Texas Tech, Auburn, Michigan State, or Virginia, but there's a good chance, once again, your bracket's busted just like mine. 3 of the 4 1 seeds and 3 of the 4 2 seeds gone. This is only the second Final Four in the last 32 years to not have Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, or North Carolina. 40% of the brackets submitted on ESPN had Duke winning. So let's start there. A little background. Zion Williamson, the most hyped player in a generation, 6'8", 285. Taco Fall, he's just a little 7'6". He leads UCF in a clash of the Titans. Look, this guy doesn't even have to jump to slam it home. Flying Zion, though, oh, he can jump. Under 20 seconds to go, Duke down 3. Zion v. Taco. Liv Moss, bucket and the foul. But this is March. He missed the free throw. RJ Barrett cleans it up, so one last chance for UCF and the upset of a lifetime. In and out. Think that was crazy? Here's the game of the tourney. We take you to Louisville, where Carson Edwards, he still hasn't stopped scoring. That game ended 4 days ago, but he dropped 42. He could not miss. Heat checks from the moon. But here's the madness. UVA missed free throw. Tip time running out. Purdue is going to the Final Four. No. The miracle floater by Diakite. He sends it to OT, where it was agony for the Boilermakers. Finally, some poetic justice throwback to Duke. Finally, a tip-in not going their way. Dagger 3 from the Spartans. And after RJ Barrett doinks one from the line, Mount Zion comes crumbling down, and the number 1 overall seed is gone. With all that said, you can look forward to the Final Four on Saturday and the championship game going on Monday night. Lexi, back to you.
That's all for this week on Hoosier News Source. For more campus and local news, check out our social media. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at IUSTV News. From all of us here, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.